Now at the Green Tech main stage, we're talking about the climate in the greenhouse and how to get the perfect climate sustainably. I'm delighted to have with me Lex van der Ende and Ferry van der Ende. A warm welcome to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Andrew. Nice
Good.
to be here.
Nice to be here as well, absolutely. So getting the climate right is always a challenge, but doing so sustainably is a double challenge, basically, Lex.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big challenge. Yeah, we are involved in this trajectory for over 30 years. 30 years ago, we developed a crop treatment system, an area treatment system, which needs the help of HAF fans to support this technique. We see the environments, the harsh environments, is getting more trouble to the indoor climate. So we think we've got a sustainable and a cost-effective innovation to help growers with the challenges.
And you mentioned already 30 years of experience there. You're well renowned, for your expertise in air and in water. But please explain a little bit more about the Van der Ende Group.
Yeah, Van der Ende Group is founded by my father in 1985. So it's a little bit longer than 30 years. We started in the Westland area. We are a family-owned business. We have a facility in Maasdijk and also in the southern part of Holland in Os. 120 enthusiastic colleagues. And we are specialists on the field of water treatment, industrial filtration and air treatment. And we like to share knowledge. And next to that, we are innovator, manufacturer, supplier of those systems. And during this session, we will show you some more about our solution on the indoor climate challenges that growers face.
And we're going to focus on air in particular. We have another session all about water, which people can tune into separately to this.
Yes, a lot of specialists are available to answer all your questions for this.
Good. Ferry, let's start with the why. Why do we need these kind of solutions? What are the challenges which are out there in the marketplace?
I think it was 6 years ago when we saw an upcoming number of semi-closed and closed greenhouses. We saw also a lot of greenhouses getting equipped with high-tech techniques, an LED lighting system, multiple-layer screen systems. And the most important thing for a grower became to create an optimal growing climate to produce the best production. And the biggest challenge was to control, to keep an active climate with according to humidity and temperature. So that's why we started with an air mix system. It was 2015 when we started the first R&D phase. Rose grower had a lot of temperature differences within his greenhouse. And we tried to solve this with our products, with the horizontal fan system and HAF standard fan and vertical circulators like our VertiFan. But we didn't solve his problems with this product. So we thought we need something new. And we find out together with the Wageningen University that it was the best to keep a screen fully open or fully closed. So we determined that we need to bring in air from above the screen with the screens closed. So that's why we started an air mix test at a small department at this rose grower. And we did a lot of testing together with Wageningen University and according to the theory of plant empowerment. And after this testing period, we expanded the test department to the complete greenhouse. And we had a commercial product in 2016 with the air mix.
And we're going to have a look at the challenges in a short video which you've prepared.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to look at the location at Beyond Crescent.
Okay, Beyond Crescent, chrysanthemums. Excellent, let's go straight there.
Okay. We are now standing in Beyond Crescent in Hoek van Holland. This high-tech greenhouse is equipped with an air mix system and LED lighting. In a traditional greenhouse, standard horizontal fans are creating air movement in the greenhouse. Besides this air movement, it enables the crop to evaporate. During the day, the evaporation and the heating of the heating pipes will result in a too high humidity. A consequence of this is that the grower needs to create an opening in his screen to exchange the moist air. By creating an opening in the screen, you exchange the moist air with the air from above the screen, which is in most circumstances way cooler than the air underneath the screen. An equal climate is essential for the best growing circumstances. Opening the screen for a small gap results in an uncontrolled cold downdraft of air. This cold downdraft of air leads into temperature differences underneath the screen, which can't be solved by the standard horizontal fans. Opening the screen in an installation with artificial lighting means that you have an emission of light. In more and more countries all over the world, this becomes a problem because of the legislation around this light emission. Another important consequence of creating a gap in the screen is that you have a loss of CO2 and heat. So if we can control the humidity and the evaporation with the screens closed, we save energy, heat and CO2 without light pollution. These are the challenges we need to solve.
That's really nice to see it in action from the field. Tell us a little bit more about what you've done there.
What we've done there, we advised the client, the customer, and we did a lot of, we helped the grower to find a good solution to create a good climate. The technique what we were looking for with an 𝙀𝙀 system was to create a product which was modular and easy to install in existing greenhouses also, and a product that will help a grower to control climate on a cost-effective and a sustainable way. Mm-hmm. So with the 𝙀𝙀, we replace the standard HAF fans, because the 𝙀𝙀 use a standard fan to bring good horizontal air distribution. And also we replace vertical circulators. So with the valves inside of the aluminium housing, we can decide the amount of air that we draw in from above the screen. So with the 𝙀𝙀, we can give the grower an extra tool to control his climate.
Okay, and it sounds very simple, Lex. It's just a plug-and-play system, very standardized, basically.
No, we hoped that it was a plug-and-play system, but it's an illusion that when it's installed, that it will solve all your problems. And that's why we do a lot of research, a lot of smoking tests, but also talking with the Wageningen University and with the guys from Plant Empowerment. But also we talk with growers, with greenhouse builders, installers, knowledge authorities to share knowledge. We organize seminars and now webinars during COVID, but also user meetings and stuff like that to help the grower to create an optimum climate.
A lot of training behind it.
Oh yes, for
But
sure.
also every greenhouse is different. Every crop which is being grown is different.
And different
so it has to be
continents,
very specific.
Different continents, different environments, also different legislation. So we like to support each growers on every project to help them how to work with 𝙀𝙀, because as mentioned by Ferry, it's an extra tool for them. So it needs to you need to grow and act on a different way. So it's kind of hard for growers to adapt, but we like to help them with them.
Okay, so some transformation. You have a video as well about the solution?
Yeah, we've got a very short animation that shows how 𝙀𝙀 works for you in your greenhouse.
Let's have a look.
Most effective climate solution is the 𝙀𝙀, which is designed to create an optimum growing climate. The 𝙀𝙀 can be used for many different crops, including vegetables, flowers, and medicinal cannabis. The 𝙀𝙀 has modulating valves to ensure that the right mixture of warm and cold air is drawn into the greenhouse. This makes it possible to provide ventilation, cooling, and dehumidification with closed screens. The 𝙀𝙀 also offers many other advantages. You no longer need to open the screen for a small gap, so the problem of cold downdraft is eliminated. This results in fewer temperature fluctuations. Screens can remain closed for a longer time. This results in energy savings. Installing 𝙀𝙀 units in series or in series parallel makes it possible to achieve optimum air circulation. The 𝙀𝙀 also works as a horizontal circulation system. The valves are controlled by the climate computer, which ensures the right quantity of air from below and above the screen. The air from above can also be mixed with the air from below. This can be regulated on the basis of humidity or temperature. And the 𝙀𝙀 is suitable for use with single, double or triple layer screen systems. The new 𝙀𝙀𝙀 Model G has a revolutionary attachment system, eliminating the need for a hole in the screen. In short, the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 balances your greenhouse climate.
So it's very convincing. Is it a proven concept?
Yeah, after the research phase of a couple of years, the product was in 2016 commercial. At this moment, within 4 years, we applied or installed with our partners 250 hectares in different kind of crops and also in different kind of continents. So now we've got some tomato growers, cucumbers, but also flowers and legal cannabis. And even during COVID, we already sold 100 hectares of 𝙀𝙀𝙀 systems already. So we are very happy that the customer believes in this product.
And we're going to hear from a user of the system, a grower of chrysanthemums, I believe.
Yes, we're going to go to 𝙂𝙍𝙊𝙀𝙀 from Beyond Chrysanthemums, and he will explain his experience with our 𝙀𝙀𝙀 systems.
Let's hear from Martijn.
Today we have the possibility to ask some questions to one of the owners of Beyond, 𝙂𝙍𝙊𝙀𝙀. Martijn, what kind of problems did you have before installing the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 system?
When in the summer, when we had to ensure the right amount of hours darkness for the chrysanthemums, we had a lot of hours where the climate was very active, and because of this inactivity, we had problems with crop development, and we had to find a solution for this problem. Beside of this problem, I wanted to install LED lighting. Because of this LED light, we got an increase of humidity in the nighttime, and I had to find a solution for this as well.
Why have you chosen for an 𝙀𝙀𝙀 system?
I'm choosing the air mixers for in the summertime. I could take the colder, drier air from outside the curtain and blow it into my growing area. And by this way, I could activate my crop with increased quality. And besides this, in the wintertime, I got a controlled way to put the colder air and drier air from outside the curtain inside my greenhouse. So this way I can control my climate even better.
Okay, thanks. And how did the installation go?
Okay, installation went very easy in my existing greenhouse. While we were in production, they could do this with monorail trolleys on top of my crops.
And did you see some changes in the climate after you installed the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 system?
After the installation of the 𝙀𝙀𝙀, we run for the last summer, and in this period we saw a decrease in temperature of 2 degrees compared to the other greenhouse we have without 𝙀𝙀𝙀.
Okay, so do you have now more control over the humidity in your greenhouse?
I didn't see the decrease of humidity on my computer, but when I was walking underneath my curtain, I feel a much nicer climate, more active climate for my plants. And I also saw this when I look into my crop.
Do you recognize if the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 influence your crop?
Yes, when I looked to my crop, I saw much better control of generative and vegetative growth. The build of my crop was much more even as I wanted it. I'm very happy with my choice for the 𝙀𝙀𝙀. I'm running now for half a year with the 𝙀𝙀𝙀. I see a lot of good results in the summertime. So I'm very hopeful to see them as well in the winter and year round.
And my final question, Martijn. Would you recommend the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 system to other growers?
I would recommend the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 to all the growers who want to have more control about their climate.
Martijn, thank you for your time, and let's go back to the studio.
Very, even more beautiful chrysanthemums from Holland.
Also, yeah.
Now we heard in the previous video about a Model T and a Model G. Where is the difference between the two systems?
Yeah, that's right. We have two models in the 𝙀𝙀𝙀 solution. It's quite comparable in capacity and working principle, but only the attachment method is a bit different. The Model T version is directly mounted to the truss, and the Model G is mounted on a special gutter system between two trusses. And with the Model G version, it's not necessary to create a fixed finished hole in the screen. So it's easy applicable to multiple layer screen systems.
Hence the name T or G.
Yeah.
Okay, Lex, what kind of crop is that particularly suitable for?
Yeah, we don't see any limitations yet. It's applicable in tomatoes or cucumbers, but also in different kind of flowers and potting plants. And also we see that we are active on different continents. It's very effective to create a good climate, even in Siberia or Tunisia. So we don't see any limitations in crops or continents.
Okay, and you're aiming just for new greenhouses, Ferry, or also on brownfield sites, existing greenhouses?
Yeah, as mentioned before, for us it was very important to find a solution also for existing and new greenhouses. Because it's a modular product, it could be easy installed in a greenhouse while producing the products.
And why in general do we need air movement?
Air movement or a flow of energy enables a crop to evaporate. So it's necessary for a crop to evaporate, and an airflow creates an energy flow. Like in a normal standard situation, there are heating pipes underneath the crop, and also heating pipes enable an airflow, an upwards airflow of warm air. And what we do with an horizontal airflow, with an air mix system, we create quite the same. So what we see in installations with an air mix system is that they can bring the temperature of the heating pipes to a minimum, which is also saving energy.
Saving energy for sure, and you're also talking about vertical air movement being very important.
Yeah, that's right. I will explain this one because it's a horizontal fan, but when we draw in air from above the screen, we draw in air which is cooler, and cooler air is heavier than the moist air underneath the screen. So that's why we see that the air we draw in slowly moves down through the crop. So that's why we see with a lot of smoking tests that we also have a good vertical air distribution.
And that helps the evaporation even more?
Well, it helps to create an equal climate. Oh. So you have the same production on different sides of the greenhouse. Yeah.
More constant, okay.
Yeah.
Lex, Ferry mentioned the energy savings that the system can help with. What are the contributions to sustainability does Airmix?
Yeah, the Airmix is very efficient. We only use one ventilator, one fan, which is quite energy efficient. And one big advantage is that we use the warm air in the greenhouses as a heat exchanger. Uh-huh. So we change the air with colder, drier air from above the screen and mix that with the greenhouse air. So we don't need to have extra energy to heat up the outside air.
Excellent, and of course using less heat for heating in general, as we heard, 2 degrees I think it was, Ferry, also has a major contribution to savings but also to sustainability.
Yeah, for sure. And some of the growers use the system different. So when we see a vegetable grower, he wants to have an equal climate, he wants to work with closed screens and with a normal humidity. But a flower grower sometimes wants to cool down the crop. So you can do multiple things with the system.
So Ferry, could you just summarize basically the major benefits of the Airmix system?
Yeah, for sure. With the Airmix you can keep your screens closed and controlling the climate. Because you can keep your screens closed, there is no longer a need to open a small gap for enable to exchange the moist air from inside the greenhouse. So no more temperature differences because of cold downdraft. You can keep an active climate during the night because you can cool the greenhouse during the night without light pollution. So that's a big plus. So with the Airmix, you can keep an active climate with the screens closed on a cost-effective and sustainable way.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the economics then. What about the benefits there, Lex?
Yeah, there are major advantages. We see a lot of semi-closed and closed greenhouses coming up with very good equipment, but the CAPEX and OPEX is not always affordable for everyone. So that's why we invented this system. It's high efficient, but for a much lower investment. Lower investment, also lower OPEX? Yeah, also lower OPEX, because we use the heat buffer in the greenhouse that is already there. So you're creating an advanced system with better economics, in a nutshell? Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. And I also would like to use the opportunity to congratulate you for winning the award here for sustainability at Green Tech for the water system, which we are talking about.
Yeah.
That was announced a little earlier.
Yeah, we are very happy and very proud. We were proud that we were nominated with the AMX Model G. That's an honor by itself. But as mentioned before in our intro, sustainability is very high on our agenda. It's in our mission, and we won that award with our HPRO. We are very proud of that. Good work of all the guys in our facility.
High performance, reverse osmosis, saving lots of water.
And energy.
Fabulous. Lex, thank you very much. Ferry, thank you very much. And I believe as well that your colleagues are still online here to answer questions if anyone wants to type in.
Yes, we've got an online meeting room in our facility, so we are happy to answer all your questions.
Fabulous. Once again, thank you.